Hello, everybody. Um, Tonight we're gonna go through probably one of the most meta builds in Project Diablo II, which is the Druid Summoner. And I've actually always been a very big fan of the build. Unfortunately, in Vanilla D2, it's not very strong because the Ravens don't do a lot of damage, and you can only summon one type of wolf. It's basically only the bear that is like somewhat useful. Luckily, in Project Diablo 2, the summons got a huge buff. They got buffed so hard that they actually had to nerf them a little bit when it comes to boss battles. But it's still probably one of the easiest and strongest builds in Project Diablo 2. So we're quickly gonna take a look at what I have actually done here. Now, as always, this is not a be all and end at all. This summoner is still work in progress as well. But just want to give you guys a basic idea of how to approach a summoner. So with the skills, it's actually rather easy. You max out Raven, both Wolves, and the Grizzly. The good thing is, with every 10 hard points, you summon an additional Raven, so you don't have to cast like a single Raven every time it dies, so you cast them in a pack of 3, which is really cool. And also at base level 20, again 20 hard points, you're actually able to summon a second Grizzly. So as you can see on screen here, it's actually becoming a rather big party rather quickly. So yeah, I want to max out all of those. I put in 1 point in the Carrion Vine, so I get like nice life regeneration on the way when you kill stuff. And in the end, I want to max out the Heart of Wolverine. This is actually personal preference. I prefer the damage. If you're playing hardcore especially, I'd probably go with the Oak Sage, because I'd rather have a bigger life boost, bigger leeway when it comes to dying than to max out DPS as bad as possible. So yeah, in hardcore I'd probably go with Oak Sage. Since I'm playing softcore, I don't care if I die every once in a while. So we're going with Heart of the Wolverine here. No points in shapeshifting for the simple reason that putting a point in Werber or Wolf buffs one but weakens the other actually. So if you put a point into Werewolf, you can see it here. It actually does minus percent damage to the wolves, to the bear. If you put a point in Werewolf, and other way around as well. So you really don't want to put any points in the shapeshifting tree. Elemental, we're going down the right side here, mostly for Gust. Gust is a new skill that basically allows the druid to teleport with a little cooldown, and that is really nice because usually the pets like to spread out in all kinds of different directions. And when teleporting on top of an enemy, you teleport all your pets with me, so it's a perfect means to quickly kill single enemies like bosses if you're doing like Bale runs, Diablo runs, Mephisto runs, whatever you want to do. The Cyclone Armor is a nice gimmick. I mean, it doesn't absorb much, but it can be useful every once in a while, and it doesn't really cost anything since we need to put a point in it for Gust anyways, so that's not that big of an issue. For stats, it's actually rather easy as well. You want to put as much points in strength as you need to carry your equipment. I have 103 here because I have my Rain Armor put in an Archon Blade, which needs 103 strength. Might actually change that to a Dusk sometime soon, so I don't have to put as many points into strength. And it's actually rather easy. The rest just goes into Vitality. You don't need any Dexterity because you're not gonna be able to block much anyways. You don't need any points in Energy because you're only casting pets, and usually the amounts of mana you have is enough to like pretty much recast pets all the time. So yeah, in terms of equipment, obviously the summoner getting points from his pets basically. So you want to put as much plus skills on it as somewhat possible on summoning skills. The good thing is, even without too many plus skills, a summoner is still really strong. So if you're playing like solo self-found, even with the most basic of basics in terms of equipment, you can easily get through hell. But once you actually start putting points into your pets, like with plus skills, that's where they're gonna start to shine really. So what I did in the beginning is I basically was running around with double spirit, both spirit sword and spirit shield. It's like +2. Luckily I had a Vex laying around from my Amazon that I found, so I got a Heart of the Oak, and luckily actually a perfect 130 resistance. Like, resistances with the Druid are nice, you don't need to have it maxed out in my opinion, basically because you're usually standing in the back row anyways and let your pets do the work. But especially for ranged enemies, it's still nice to have. Like, we're gonna quickly go back. I pretty much maxed all my stats out. Some of it is with equipment, and some of it is just with charms, but we're gonna take a look into that later. So yeah, I have a Hoto here. Budget would be Spirit, only gives 1 skill, but also gives like stuff like Mana, Vitality, so it's really nice for the beginning, but later on you really want to have something that does gives more plus skills. For the armor, I actually wasn't that lucky yet, so I'd say ideally you want to get a Rain here, because it can give 2 to Druid levels and 1 to summoning skills, so basically like 3 to summons. This is my second Rain I already crafted, and both of them only got +1 Druid skills, so that's something I can still improve quite a bit. Otherwise, there are other armors that give +2 skills as well. Like, I actually wore Arcanes for the longest time. Gives +2 skills as well. Also gives Vitality based on character level, but has the big disadvantage that it needs, like, I think 165 strength or something like that. So it has rather high requirements, but that works as well. It's got 2 skills, that's all that matters. For the helmet, you definitely want to get an Altars. You can see you can get 2 summoning skills and 2 druid skills, which basically means +4 on all summons, which is really, really nice. If you don't have an Aldous yet in the beginning, what I did first of all is I played with a lore that I muled over from my Amazon. It gives is Ort plus Soul, so really easy to craft, and gives +1 skill as well. Later on I switched over to a rare Coronet, it was, I think, that gave like +2 druid skills. Those drop, I don't want to say rather often, but those are not that hard to get either, and they give +2 skills. But ideally this is gonna be the end thing, since I don't think there is any helmet that gives more than +4 skills. Theoretically, you could try to corrupt it to get like 1 to all skills on it as well, but that's like super high-end thingy to do, and I don't really need that at the moment. I still have a lot of other stuff to improve, so we're gonna do that later on. Amulet is something I still want to change out. It's just like two druid skills. I probably want to change it over to either a 3 summon and maybe like 10 FCR, or maybe like 3 summons and, I don't know, life plus all risks, maybe. But again, most important thing is the plus skills here. So I want to switch to a magical one, since those can give +3 summoning skills. On the shield side, I got a leadless. Unfortunately, with a not very good corruption, it's only got the socket as a corruption. But again, important here are the +2 all skills. I think leadless is actually the only shield that still gives +2 all skills. I think there is actually another shield as well that gives like +2 to random character class or something like that, but that needs like 180 strength or something, so that's not really viable. So you really want to get a leadless over time. Budget for the beginning, obviously a spirit, which I used as well. Also, I'm having my coffee right now because it's only like 9:25 AM where I am at the moment. So yeah, since I got a socket on the corruption, I put a diamond in to get my resistances up a bit more. For boots, I used Aldurs again, mainly because it has 50 life, it has very high fire resistances, and in combination with the helmet, it actually gives 10 FCR as well, which is pretty nice. And since there are no boots or anything that actually give plus skills, you're rather free to choose what you want to wear here. Yeah, not really much to say in the gloves here. Just give live fire and cold resistances and a bit of magic find. Yeah, not really much to say. You could put on 20 FCR casts if you want to reach a certain FCR break point. Other than that, just try to get like your resistances up, maybe a little bit of MF, maybe strength, so you can put more skills into vitality, you know. basic stuff like that. My first ring here is a Noggle, due to the reason that I'm using this druid to MF quite a bit. Like, I don't have a lot of MF on it actually. I think it's like, yeah, it's only 164. It's not really a lot, but it adds up over time. As a belt, I got a gold wrap here, again, mostly for the MF reasons. Ideally, you want to have an Arach here, since it's the only belt that gives one plus skills, but those are stupidly expensive at the moment. And I'd rather trade other stuff first, or just like focus on other stuff first before I'm actually trying to like squeeze the last bits possible out of there. And yeah, the last one is actually something I found in the way of Volcatos. Actually more for melee base characters because of the life leech, but it's nice to have for casters as well, mainly obviously to the reason that it gives +1 all skills, and also has life based on character levels, like 0.5 life on character level, so that adds up over time as well. So yeah, that's basically my equipment. In terms of charms, can't English today, sorry. In terms of charms, you wanna obviously fill your inventory out with summoning skillers. I only have one at the moment. That's another problem, since the Summoner Druid is very meta at the moment. Skillers are worth quite a bit. Like, I think blank ones with just one summon cost like a mal or something, so they're not that big of a deal. But if you want to get some with plus life and stuff on that, it's gonna be expensive very quickly. So yeah, you wanna try to fill it up with skillers, obviously, and then fill up the small charms with whatever you need, be that MF, lack of resistances, life, whatever. So yeah, that's basically my Summoner Druid. And that's my main character I'm using right now to also grind out, which I'm gonna show you in another video, because I'm not really a big fan of grinding out the same area repetitively all the time for hours. So I'm having like some kind of cycle I'm always cycling through when I'm running, grinding, farming, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna show that off in another video. So yeah, that's my Summoner Druid for now. I hope it did help you out at least a little. Like I said, it's a very meta build. It's not very hard to play, if you will, because you have to summon. It's a very safe build as well. But I like it a lot. So if you want to try it out, feel free to. If you have any more questions, as always, feel free to ask in the comments or just ask on Twitch when I'm on stream. And yeah, that's it. That's my Summoner Druid. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.